everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you have not read the title of this video already, we are doing my August TBR and my July TBR wrap up. I know, it's a different location again. If you actually have not seen the background of this before, don't be surprised. This is my parents' house. I am here for the weekend. Second weekend in a row, actually. I'm going to a bridal shower tomorrow at the time of this recording. And so I showed up a day early, and I'm waiting for my sister to get off work so we can go get some things for this weekend. Also, if you see anything float around the screen that doesn't seem normal to you, there is a pesky fly in here that is being a pain in my butt. Anyways, let's get started into the first book that I finished for July. That would be my graphic novel. Actually, this would be the last one, but I'm going to start with this one. This is A Sunny Side Up. This is actually the first one. I think there's 3 or 4 other Sunny books out there. And this is by Jennifer and Matthew Holmes. And it's rated 4.1 stars on GoodReads, but I rated it a 3. Now, here is why I rated this book a 3. So this book is just about this girl named Sunny going to spend time with her grandpa for the summer and everything that happens basically at a retirement home in Florida to cover up for the fact that her parents are trying to get her alcoholic brother some help. And I gave it a 3 because it was, well, boring, and I wish there had been more to the story. I get that it's for kids, but I wish there was more to the story of how her brother led up to being a drug user, addict, and an alcoholic, and maybe the ending to it. Maybe I don't know if that's the next book, if this is a continuation story that goes on to the next books, or if it's just the character being the main character of all 3 books or 4 books or whatever. But I wish there was more, because I didn't feel there was any build up, and I didn't exactly feel excited every time I picked it up to read it. And so this one will definitely get thrown back into a free little library at some point, because I think somebody else is going to enjoy this and letting it sit on my bookshelf for a while. Okay, the next one I finished. This is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Serli. This is rated 3.5 stars on GoodReads, and I rated it 4, and I finished this on the 29th. This book I dived into right away. I didn't know exactly what I was going to be expecting from this book, but I can definitely tell you by the end of it, I almost cried. For anybody that has lost a loved one, specifically if a daughter has lost a mother, this would be my mom in particular because my grandma died a couple years ago, they would want to read this book. So this goes through the story of I forget the name of the girl already. That's how long it was. Well, anyways, there is this girl. She goes on her what was supposed to be her mother-daughter trip to Italy, and her mom actually did a trip to Italy back when she was her age, the daughter's age, and the mom died. So now the girl is kind of being like kind of like pushing everybody away because her mother's gone, who was her best friend. And so she still takes a trip to Italy, and while she's in Italy, she meets her younger version of her mom, and her mom and her go on the adventure of discovering Italy together and uncovering secrets that she didn't know she had, and there may be a little bit of some cheating romance in there. I think that's one of the reasons why I rated it 4 stars, like, other than, the language, because you can't necessarily get around language in a book. But one of the things why I rated it 4, other than the daughter, I get that she was grieving, but she kind of seemed kind of whiny, is that they prompted kind of like cheating, but not cheating, because the guy wasn't real, but to her he was, and he was from the past, so he didn't entirely exist on her timeline. And then at the end, she reconnects with her husband and like gets like fall in love with him all over again. And I didn't quite get that, how that resolved, how her basically fantasized cheating on her husband helped her get to the point that she realized she loved her own husband. But I did enjoy the knowing that she was coming to full circle of her grieving and realizing she's going to be okay without her mom in the world. And there is a big thing at the end. I don't want to spoil this for you guys. There is a thing at the end that will definitely make you cry. This was a contemporary romance, so there really wasn't any necessarily raunchy scenes. I mean, there was probably like one in there, but it wasn't very graphic, which was okay for me because I'm not somebody who's completely smut, but somebody who definitely doesn't want just hand holding, kissing, and hugging. And so this was definitely a good book. I would like to get this book. I would like to get this book as an actual, like, from the store kind of book, not a book of the month. I didn't get this as a book of the month. I don't have the subscription for it. I think I got this from a free little library. Oh, I got this from a free little library in Jackson. Oh, yes, I remember. The free little library was of a barn. It was a barn themed, like, shaped like a barn and everything. And when I saw this book, I was like, oh, I'm so going to read this summer. And then when it came up, I was like, I don't know, we'll still see. But then I chose to read it and it was good. Lastly, I'm so excited to finally be reviewing this with you guys. We have Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I finished this on the last day of July. It took me a really long time. I did a lot of listening to the audiobook versus reading it. There was a lot of times where I wanted to smack somebody, where I wanted to cry. This definitely puts you through all the emotions that you want to feel when going through a book. Anyways, this is historical fiction. I also found this book in Jackson, and I rated it 4 stars. Once again, yes, there was swearing in it. I don't necessarily, it didn't pop to me as a 5-star. I want to read this again. Maybe if I would have taken more time and there would have been more time for me, because I'm somebody who thinks they need to be on a time crunch for everything. I would want to pick this up again, but I am sadly going to be putting this book back into a free little library. If I do come across a different copy, I might just have to keep it, because unfortunately this one is a little ripped. We are now going to go through the August TBR. I was not expecting to go and have this many books. To be honest with you, I thought I was only going to do 2 books. But you know me, I just crave reading books so much. And, you know, it's coming to the end of summer, and so I still want to be able to read as many books that I think would be summer themed as I can. I am just like my phone is being like Miss Popular over here. Because somebody's calling me, somebody's texting me, I'm getting snaps, getting notifications, like I'm trying to film a video here, people. Anyways, this is going to be the graphic novel for the month of August. I just got this book from Free Little Library. I think it might have even been in a video that I filmed. I'm not sure. This is The Aquanaut by Dan Santet. I hope I didn't butcher that name. This came out March 1st, 2022. It would have cost me $13 at a library, but I got this from a free little library in Menominee Falls. It is rated 3.9 stars on GoodReads, and it is 245 pages. And actually, if you look at the back of it here, based off the side of it, there's a discarded book from the Milwaukee Public Library. And I'm surprised that this came from the Milwaukee Public Library and it's not destroyed and everything. Like, it has the original tag from it, it has a stamp, this is withdrawn, and it has a stamp for the Free Little Library, because this is a really popular free little library to get books from. So, who is the Aquanaut? Ever since her father was lost at sea, Sophia has been moping around Aqualand, a marine theme park. But Sophia's world is turned upside down when an aquanaut breaks into the park's research lab. To her amazement, Sophia discovers that the aquanaut is not what it seems. Inside lives a band of goofy sea creatures. And when they all realize that Aqualand is more sinister than advertised, Sophia is determined to help the Aquanaut crew free the park's captive marine life before it's too late. I think I'm really going to enjoy this. I've read that. I haven't even really looked at the pictures on the inside, and I don't know why I haven't even started this yet. Because it makes me excited, and I don't want to finish it all in one day. Like, I want to marinate on it a little bit. So this month's genre, I have come to terms of what I thought my genres for each month are going to be, because I think there's a disorder for it, but I'm not sure. I base my months based off of colors and letters and now genres of books, and I tend to not veer off of those. My parents probably could tell you that I did not always used to be like that. Last weekend when I was here, because it went from being July 31st to August 1st, I had to switch my sticker on the back of my phone from a dark blue sticker to a yellow sticker, and I could not find my yellow sticker for the life of me, and it was making me like freak out in my head here, and you could probably see outside I was not willing to give up finding this sticker. Otherwise I was going to have to find a different yellow sticker to go on my phone. And they said, why does it have to be yellow? And like, because the month of August is yellow for me. Although I had wanted to do that with books too, but I actually have a mix-up of that, because there was a book that I wanted to read in the month of August that wasn't yellow. So back to what I was saying. So the genre of the month is YA fiction, or young adult fiction. And I had already started this book back at the beginning of the year. So this is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This was published October 1st, 2012. It is a romance, or a YA fiction romance, and it is a New York Times bestseller. It would have cost me $13, but I got this as a gift. It is 4.1 stars on GoodReads, and it is 313 pages. And now, I've had this, I think, since I first started collecting books again and actually reading. I'm pretty sure my mom probably got this for me as a Christmas present, or it was it was bought at a Goodwill. I can't exactly remember. All I know is that when I was doing my advent calendar last December, my bookish advent calendar, I had to read one chapter to see if I was going to keep the book or not, and this one ended up, I think reading 4 chapters in this book. I have watched The Fault in Our Stars when it came out when I was younger, and let me tell you, that was my first chick flick that I remember wanting to go watch in theaters with friends, and I came out bawling. So I'm really hoping that this book gives me the same feeling. It makes me feel like bawling. So if you don't know the synopsis of The Fault in Our Stars, despite the tumor shrinking medical miracle that has brought her a few years, Hazel has never been anything but terminal. Her final chapter inscripted upon diagnosis. But when a gorgeous plot twist named Augustus Waters suddenly appears at Cancer Kids Support Group, Hazel's story is about to be completely rewritten. The Fault in Our Stars brilliantly explores the funny, thrilling, and tragic business of being alive and in love. And there's a lot of, like, stuff on the back here. And I actually am already at my goal here of what I was supposed to be reading, because I read ahead. I should make mention, I actually watched the movie of Where the Crawdads Sing after I finished the book. I'm coming to realize I like watching movies that are based off books, or, reading the books and then watching the movie. I've watched a couple movies now where I haven't read the book, but it inspires me to want to read the book. And there are some books that I've read that I've now watched the movie. And I realized I kind of like it if I watch the movie first and then read the book. Because when I read this book and then watched the movie, I realized how much of it was out of line from the book to the movie. And there was a lot of points, like major points that were missed out from the movie that were in the book. And I was watching it with family, and so, you know me, I'm trying to keep my mouth shut about the things that are wrong. But, you know, when I watch a movie that's based off a book that I haven't read, I can't say anything. Next one, I don't know if I put this book in my July TBR video or not. I started reading this, I think, at the beginning of July for some unknown reason, or the beginning of June, but I know that it's been sitting in my drawer, and now I'm going to make sure that I finish it. This is Normal People by Sally Rooney. It was published August 28th, 2018. It is literary fiction. It is 3.8 stars on GoodReads. It would have cost me $17, but I actually found this at a free little library in Merton, and it is 273 pages. And I don't really know what chapter I'm on because they don't really go by chapters, they go by a timeline. And let me tell you, it's quite interesting. Let me read the synopsis. So, Connell, this is weird because the audiobook it's an Irish book. So the Sally Rooney, I think, is Sally Rooney Irish? Or is it she just wrote it in an Irish way? Anyways, so there's a lot of Irish language in here, or the way they talk. It was like British language, and so the audiobook is a little weird, and the way that they say the names are kind of weird. So Connell and Marianne grew up in the same small town, but the similarities end there. At school, Connell is popular and well liked, while Marianne is a loner. But when the two strike up a conversation, awkward but electrifying, something life-changing begins. Normal People is the story of a mutual fascination, friendship, and love. It takes us from the first conversation to the years beyond, in the company of two people who tried to stay apart but find that they can't. And let me tell you, at the beginning of this story here, it's really weird because they just like talk. Next thing you know, all they're doing is like screwing each other and talking about how they screw each other and what they're going to do with their future, and then him like trying to avoid her but like being horny, and her just being there, and it's quite interesting. It's definitely not a book for kids. Maybe for high schoolers, you know, if you're into that kind of stuff. Definitely not in the realm of smut, but I definitely find the appeal to it. It's definitely made me laugh already, as you can tell by the smile on my face. And lastly, the book that I have been looking for all summer to read, and I am enjoying it so much. It almost, to me, this book kind of feels like it could rank alongside like my favorite tops for authors. This is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. It was published April 2nd, 2024. It is a romance, obviously. It would have cost me $30. Get this, you guys. But I found this at a free little library in Pewaukee. And it is 4.3 stars on GoodReads and 405 pages. Holy cow. And as you can tell, there's the little thing right here that shows you guys that it actually came from a public library. And it's been scribbled out. And so the inside of the book, because I know I show you guys when they don't have dust jackets on it, nothing special. It's just, this is the yellow book. See? See what I mean? What I did there? Why I was trying my best to be okay with not having a yellow book, but I did have a yellow book because this is pink. But, you know, as I said before, my month is yellow. The book is yellow, you guys. It's just covered up by a dust jacket. I actually recently found, I think it was not her most recent, like her just published book, the one that just came out, but I think the one before that, I think from last year, that came out. I found that one in the Free Little Library in Eagle River back in June, and my sister has it because she's gonna read it. But if this goes well, I might have to steal it from her, because I am like, I know I shouldn't rush through a book. I should really take my time, but she caught my attention like from the first page. Let me tell y'all. Let me read the synopsis. When it comes to love, Emma is cursed. Every guy she dates finds his true love after they break up. But it turns out she's not the only one afflicted with this condition. His name is Justin, and his Reddit thread about being love's good luck charm has gone viral. Now the two has come up with an ingenious plan. If they date each other, their curse will be canceled and they'll go on to find their soulmate. Only Justin wasn't supposed to be so unbelievably cute and smart and hilarious. But when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, included catching real feelings. Has fate finally brought the perfect pair together, or will it end up being exactly what they agreed on just for the summer? I'm going to tell you right now, I have not, just reading that in where I am in the story, I do know about the guardianship with the siblings for Justin, because his mom is going to jail because of something she did in her business. But the toxic mom with the girl, with Emma, that has not been brought up yet. Although she is a traveling nurse, that she travels around the States with her sister doing stuff, and he's not asking her per se to come to Minnesota, but she goes to Minnesota so she can do this with him. By the way, giving up on Hawaii. And so that's the part that I left up on, and I really want to finish up this video actually so I can get back into reading it, because that's how much I have enjoyed it. Anyways, if you guys have liked this video, make sure that you give me a thumbs up, and you can't see my thumbs up because it's all the way down here. Also, make sure you subscribe down below if you would like to hear me rant or, babble a little bit more about books and other things. I know I say other things, and that's because sometimes those things just randomly pop up. Make sure that you subscribe down below if I didn't already say that, and turn on that notification bell. I always post on Sunday, Saturday, or somewhere in between during the month. I know, so random. And let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of these books, if you have watched any of these as movies, if you have any recommendations for me. I think by the end of this book here, Abby Jimenez is going to be in my top 5 favorite authors. Also, follow me on GoodReads. That's where most of the stuff comes up from, is GoodReads, when we can be friends and we do recommendations and stuff. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm not on there very much, just because there's too many social media sites for me to have business on. Otherwise, other than that, I'm still on TikTok. I do the kids books from time to time, and that's about it. So I'll see you guys in the next one.